given to me by Article 1521 and 1525B of the Constitution and Sections 12 of the Office of the Attorney General's Act, decided to dismiss with immediate effect all the Cabinet Secretaries and Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, of the Cabinet of Kenya, except the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs. And of course, the office of the Deputy President is not affected in any way.
Finally, one of the key prayer items that Kenyans had on their list of things that they would want the president to do for them as a way of showing goodwill to the current political situation has been answered. And that was reshuffling or dismissing the cabinet secretaries. And today he did it in a way which many people would have not imagined. Most of political commentators thought that he would just shift one minister from one ministry to another docket. But he had just decided to say, Kufa Makanga, Kufa Dereva. And as we speak now, all 21 cabinet secretaries plus attorney general are at home. Only one docket at the moment has a CS, and that is a Foreign Affairs and Diasporas, which is under the office of Prime Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi. There were a lot of prayer items on the list that Kenyans presented before God and before the president. But before I delve deeper into the analysis of today, allow me to invite you, who you are coming across this video for the first time, that please take a moment or two to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for our subscribers, we want to say we are so grateful and gladdened for your support and standing with MJR through and through. Do not also forget to share your opinion on the comment section about the content matter of today. We are going to say few things about the move by the president. And to start with, I will say that over the years, Kenyans have not gotten the intimate relationship with the state of affairs until very recently, when the young generations decided now to change the course and to change our approach of Kenyan politics. And they brought what is known as the inclusive leadership, where there was no tribe, no religion, and no class. What they know was that the time had come that they had to liberate the country and to free it from what is known as the state capture. If you go through the list of the cabinet secretaries who have lost their jobs few hours ago, you will ask yourself that some of these ministries Kenyans were not well conversant with. Look, for example, the Minister of Water, that CS Zakaria Mwangi. Who knew that minister, that he exists? And if at all he worked, then he did a little better. He would have showed more. And I think these are the kind of individuals who will not come back. Look at the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, somebody like Saipan Tuya, we knew very little about that minister. Look at the Ministry of Labor. Who knew that minister? Look into the ministry, you can name them. So indeed, it is a time that Kenyans are going to see a new dawn, a new beginning. I have listened to Kotu Secretary General Francis Atwoli saying that the next government or the next cabinet that President William Ruto is going to form in the next few weeks should be all inclusive. The previous cabinet was somehow inclined in some regions, neglecting some other parts of this country. Some of the ministers we had were totally politicians who mastered only one thing, which politicians has mastered all along, and they did it best when they were in their political offices, to loot to the industrial scale, to accumulate wealth as much as you can. And that was their assignment number one the moment they assumed the various offices and dockets they were assigned by the president, and the people of Kenya trusted them with those dockets. We know, as the president has said, that he will continue to communicate to Kenyans a lot more changes in the few days to come. Then going forward, we know that the government, after dismissing the entire cabinet, then we know he's going to move down to the permanent secretaries, because there we also have over 50 of them. And these 50, some will have to go home, some will be reshuffled to other dockets to ensure proper service delivery to the people of Kenya. After the PSS, we want to see the president accomplish one of his promises, that he's going to deal with also these parastatals, which some of them have duplication of duties. Then after that, we are going to have a slim and a decent cabinet composed by men and women who are of high integrity and competency-based cabinet. The one that Ruto gave Kenyans was full of mediocres and his political sycophants who stood with him during Tanga and campaign period. And if you care to check on the list, most of the cabinet were the losers of the 2022 general election, which I said could have contributed largely to the poor performance of that cabinet that is no longer there. Now, the buck still stops with the president. I know it is still tough with him, but all eyes are on him. He is the one who will change the course if he is so willing, as he has started showing the signs of indeed responding positively to the call by many Kenyans, led by this young generation dubbed the Generation Z. And if we are going to see these changes, and indeed it will be done out of goodwill, but Kenyans are saying that is not enough. A lot more needs to be done. But the question MJR is posting today, are we going to see the government of national unity, or we are going to see another cabinet for the UDA and Kenya Kwanza parties. Nevertheless, what Kenyans want is performance, service delivery, and enabling environments for youth to innovate and to create. Because the issue of unemployment cannot be completely solved by the president. The issue of corruption is an issue which needs all Kenyans to take part, stop giving bribes, and to stop taking bribes. The issue of employment of doctors, as many have alluded, that those are the areas they feel they don't want or need dialogue. Those are things that are on the hand of the president and his government. We still believe that as they have said, the opposition, that they have no intention nor interested to enter into the government of national unity with the Kenya Kwanza. In fact, Kalonzo Musyoka yesterday, in his own words, said that this government has fallen flat on its own tummy, and therefore they cannot help them to sanitize their mess. And if what Raila Odinga also said yesterday, that he has listened to the young people and they are not in support of anything to do with handshake with President William Ruto, and then we wait for the next cabinet, which will be formed solely by the Kenya Kwanza regime. It will be a tough period for the next cabinet, because they are coming into the office at a time when Kenyans have woken up for their slumber. Kenyans are awake, and Kenyans have glued their eyes onto the performance of the government. Long gone are the days when the ministers would think that they are small gods to be worshipped. Gone are those days when the public officers would walk with money bags in their cars to dish out to the public in public places. Gone are the days when the president will rule the country the way he wants. We have come to a new era, an era where information is power, and information is a necessity to all citizens. And we are going to maintain our focus. We are going to continue following closely what the government is going to do, because Kenyans have realized that opposition has gone into bed and now they are singing the tune of the government. And as it was written in the book Things Fall Apart by the renowned Nigerian writer Chinua Achebe, that when a lizard said that if I jump from high Iroko tree and no one praise me, I am going to praise myself. The Gen Zs now should praise themselves, because it was through the new energy that they injected into our political ecosystem that has seen these new radical changes that we are seeing now, that has made the president to realize that indeed he is subject of the people of Kenya, and as he promised during the time of swearing in that he is going to uphold and to protect constitution, he is going to do so. What the young generations are still asking the government, and if it is proper, the government must do it as quick as possible, is to bring to book the killer cops who took life of young men and women who are demonstrating, those who shot and injured the young men and women who are still battling for their lives in various hospital and medical facilities, those who are permanently disabled are in their homes, those whom their lives have now been completely changed and distorted. If the government of President William Ruto will do that, then Kenyans will say, Alhamdulillah, Shangri-La, the land of gold, the little heaven that we've always worked for years in, years out, is now with us. Ladies and gentlemen, I would want to go on and on speaking about our politics and our current affairs, but time will not allow us due to scarcity of resources. So allow me to pause and poise at that moment, and may God bless you.